Hey everybody, it's Kim Dahnke, the Shibboleth new member fast track instructor, and I am so glad that you are here with me tonight. How was everybody's Monday? If you are on Facebook, please take a second to say hello. Let me know that you are here. Even if you aren't hanging out with me the entire time tonight, take a second to say hello. And if you are a Shibboleth member, please do us a favor and hit the share button. It lets people know about our wonderful ministry. If you're in the Zoom room, please set your chat to everyone and then take a second to say hello. I see that Teresa Hutto is here and Melody and Phil Box is here. Awesome. Hey, Kristen and Andrea. Hey, Misty. Misty, yay. Day one went great. Awesome, Misty. Hey, Sarah, we're glad you're here. Hey, Beth Ann. Awesome. Thank y'all for being here. I've had a very long day today. Hey, Melanie. Hey, Allison. Glad y'all are with me. Two of our wonderful Shibboleth guides right there. Thank you. Today, I got up this morning about 4:30, left the house at 6:30, and just walked in the door. Like literally, just walked in the door. Hey, Patty Bass, thank you for sharing. That's awesome. So very, very helpful. Appreciate that. Okay, we've got a lot to cover, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Hey, Tracy, glad you're here. I'm going to share my screen with you, and where I'm going to the fast track laps. Everything that you do in fast track can be found in these laps, okay? And I'm going to lap 2. And remember, I told y'all to do lap 1 and lap 2 on your own because I don't really go over those with you. But what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to access this link right here, the Simple Food Combining website link. Okay, so first of all, this is printable. If you wanted to print this, you could print this and you can create some things. Thank you, Melanie. Melanie, I have sweated so many times today. Just like I had to do a golf tournament today. There's a Bullock Hope House. It's like a Ronald McDonald House, but it's, a person who her husband's childhood home was turned into a house where people need it for medical reasons. And so we did that today. And this morning I got to lead a marshmallow hitting contest. That was fun. That was fun. People were like, I've never hit a marshmallow with my golf club. I'm like, well, let's do it today. It's fun. Thank you, Melanie. I did brush my hair on the way home. All right, so category 1, lean protein, cooking oils and condiments can make a simple meal. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go over cooking oils and fats, and I'm going to go over condiments. Now, the cooking oils and fats is going to be a recap from last night because I did go over that last night, but I didn't even talk about condiments last night. I ran out of time. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, every time I come to a new category, I'm going to read out the category. I read the category because what I'm hoping is that you're reading it with me, and maybe you're reading, writing down the ones that you like, and you're also hearing me say it. So I'm hoping that you're starting to familiarize yourself with foods that go in each of these categories, okay? If you wrote down 1 through 7 last night on a piece of paper, anything that you hear tonight that go in those categories, make sure you write it down. That's one of the best things you can do for yourself, is to write down what you like that goes in these categories. Okay, so cooking oils and fats. So all Shibboleth is, besides a wonderful and awesome weight management system, is simple swaps. We are simply swapping around what we buy in the grocery store. And you now have a list called the food library of what foods work for you and help you instead of hurt you. They're right there in the food library. But one of the simple swaps is your cooking oil. So we use 100% MCT oil. MCT stands for medium chain triglyceride. Medium chain triglyceride. Now, what we were using before Shibboleth was a long chain triglyceride, LCTs, long chain triglycerides. Those are olive oil, canola oil, vegetable oil. Those are not approved oils for a Shibboleth perfect day. You would need to use 100% MCT oil, coconut oil, which is 66% MCTs. So coconut oil is not 100% MCTs, it's 66% MCTs. And MCT oil does come from coconut oil and sometimes palm oil, but mostly I see it with coconut oil. And they've basically extracted all MCTs out and bottled that. But coconut oil is 66% MCTs. And you can use ghee butter. Ghee butter's just butter. It's just been clarified, meaning all of the milk solids have been pulled out of it, and it's all that's left is the fat. And it's about 25% MCTs. So what I use ghee butter for is I use it purposefully, typically for, dipping lobster tail or crab legs or shrimp scampi or scallops or something like that, or for a swap in a recipe. But if I'm just putting a little bit of condiment of butter on a piece of toast, I certainly do not use ghee butter for that. I use Brummel and Brown yogurt butter. Or if I am making myself a grilled cheese sandwich, I use the I can't believe it's not butter spray, because I'm using other things in my sandwich sometimes as condiments. And so I just use the spray on that. And you can also use 0-calorie cooking spray. So here's how I make a decision on when I use either MCT oil. See, I pretty much use MCT oil or PAM, unless I'm making a recipe that calls for ghee butter. So MCT oil is what I use when I am cooking a lean protein or a shellfish. So lean protein, either from category 1 or category 7. If it's a lean protein, I use 100% MCT oil. But if I am cooking a protein plus fat, it already has fats in it. I do not need to add additional fats. So that's when I use 0-calorie cooking spray. Couple of things that I want you to know. We use MCT oil for 3 reasons only. 3 reasons only. You may hear things out there in the marketplace or all the noise that's out there on other ways to use MCT oil. We do not use them for those ways. We use them for 3 ways only. Cooking, pot, pan, however you're cooking. Recipe, which is still cooking. I just like to split them apart so that you can think of them. And making approved salad dressings. That's it. That's the way we use MCT. We do not take it as a supplement. We don't put it in bulletproof coffee. We don't put it in shakes. So that's it. Those are the 3 ways. And in fact, if you're not using it in one of those 3 ways, you don't need to ever feel like you need to get it in. So if you're cooking an appropriate food item up with it, then use it. But if you're not, then you don't have to worry about it. What do you mean, Melody? Why do you not what? I like it, Jonathan. Let's get skinny with Kim. So I'm gonna wait for Melanie. Melody. I know your name's Melody. I'm sorry. I'm getting tired. And okay, you do not use it as a supplement because it's got 130 calories in it. And we don't want to take random calories for no reason. Yeah. So, but when we use it for the cooking process, a lot of that will burn up in the cooking process, but also kind of give us the flavor that comes with it. And yes, it is Melody Box, Jonathan. So you use it up for that, but a lot of it burns up in the cooking process. So you're not actually ingesting all of that into your body. And MCT oil does have some other really great properties. Like it's got muscle preserving effect and a metabolism building effect. And you're hearing me say really great things about it, but because it has that 130 calories per tablespoon, we don't just take it randomly. We use it very, very, very purposefully through those 3 reasons. All right, the next thing that we're going to talk about is condiments. Condiments. There are so many things that can be used as condiments that we are not going to have every single one of the items listed in the food library. So what we like you to know on the condiments is the rule, because you need to be able to just when you're walking through the grocery store, pick up a condiment. Hey, Dawn, pick up a condiment and be able to look at it without having to look it up in the food library to see if you can use it as a condiment. So we call the rule about condiments the 5, 2, and few. This is a sprinkling. 5, 2, and few rule. So what you're going to look at on a condiment is you're going to look at the nutrition label. You're going to look at 2 bits of information. You want to look at the sugar content and the fat content. It needs to have 5 grams of sugar or less per serving and 2 grams of fat or less per serving. If it's got less than 5 grams of sugar, 5 or less of sugar, and remember the word sugar has 5 letters in it. So that'll help you remember which is which. And then you're going to look for fat and see if it has 2 grams of fat or less. If it's got both of those meet the qualifications, you can use it, but you do not want to use more than 50 calories worth of condiments on a meal. You can use up to 50 calories worth of condiments on every combined meal if you want to. But I've also learned that if I took 50 calories 3 times a day, 7 days a week, that's 1,050 calories over a week's time. Over a year's time, I did the math one time, it's like 54,000 calories. And that's 15 pounds right there. So I've just got kind of picky on my condiments, and I will certainly use a condiment if my food needs that condiment to taste the way that it should. But I have figured out that I do not need to slap a piece of cheese on everything I eat. Hey, Alice. So that is just my little story about condiments. But let's read some of the ones that you can use. Hey, Evelyn. You can use any 0-calorie condiments. You can use 15-calorie or less spices and seasonings, salt and pepper, salsa, reduced sugar ketchup, mustard, hot sauce, Kraft fat-free mayo. So you can use all those things, but that is a tiny list of condiments. There's so many things that can be used as condiments. So let me tell you a story. Hey, Angelia. I usually buy Classico traditional pizza sauce, not pasta sauce. I'm talking about pizza sauce. I buy Classico traditional pizza sauce. Awesome. Jonathan's over in the Zoom room now. He can be with his friends Melody and Phil. So I normally buy the Classico traditional pizza sauce at Kroger. Well, I was in Publix to pick up a cheese that I like, and I thought I need to get that Classico traditional pizza sauce. And so I made it my way back to that pizza sauce area. I scanned the pizza sauce. No Classico traditional pizza sauce. Hey, Gemma. And so I said, okay. There were six pizza sauces on the counter. So what I did, I flipped around all 6 sauces, and then I started scanning the sugar content. If it had more than 5 grams of sugar, I turned that one around. It's out of the running. I don't even need to look at the fat content because it's out of the running. Then I started scanning the fat content. If it had more than 2 grams of fat, I turned it around. So out of the 6 that were there, 2 worked, and I just made a decision and purchased one. Mickey, what cheese can we use, and what do you get from Publix? Yeah, the cheese that I got from Publix, Mickey, was the Cabot Extra Light. Cabot Extra Light. Now, any fat-free cheese will work, and it's typically a category 1 lean protein, but the Cabot extra light cheese is a category 4 protein plus fat. So you just want to keep that in mind. And I don't know where you live, but at Ingles, they carry the Cabot extra light and they carry the Borden fat-free cheese. And I think I found Borden at Publix before as well, but Kroger, I don't find either one of those at Kroger. Okay, so condiments, we just want you to be confident going into the grocery store and using the 5-2 and few rule. Because if I had, you're welcome, Mickey, and there's a whole bunch more in the food library. If I had to stand in the grocery store aisle and type in Mamacita's blah, 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 do you know how much time that would have taken me? It would take time to stand there and type in those 6 different names of that pasta sauce. But just the fact that I knew the rule and could practically apply that rule, I just was like, boom, boom, boom. Okay, out of those 6, 2 work, and I picked one. Yes, the rules are so easy, so very, very easy. Okay, so what this row is telling you is that you can eat category 1 lean protein by itself. Now, as we discussed in class tonight in Kennesaw, it only fits under one hand. Doesn't mean you're going to do 2 hands of lean protein if you're just having lean protein, okay? But let's read these over. Category 1 lean protein, you can have 2 to 8 ounces. Egg whites, fish, remember all fish is in category 1. Chicken breast, turkey breast, pork tenderloin, boar's head turkey, boar's head chicken breast, boar's head London broil, low-fat cottage cheese, fat-free cottage cheese, Greek plain yogurt, Hebrew National 97% lean beef frank, and 96% lean ground meat. So this 96% lean ground meat is that, that processed meat that comes in a little styrofoam thing that's wrapped. It can be chicken, turkey, beef. If it's 96% lean or greater, you can use that as a category 1. In Greek plain yogurt, that is not the only yogurt that's on the lifestyle. You would just want to go into the food library, click on lean proteins, and then type in, or you can just go into the food library and type in yogurt and look at all the different kinds of yogurt. Low fat and fat-free cottage cheese are right here, but we do have full fat cottage cheese on the lifestyle. It's just over in protein plus fat. And the reason that boar's head is mentioned specifically is because we know it's just a very lean meat, but there are lots of other approved deli meats in the food library. Pork tenderloin is obviously a pork product, but it's a lean pork product. But if you'll notice, since it's here in category 1, we would use this to keep us safe when we eat a category 3 energy carb or category 5 fruit. So if you do happen to see any visible fat on it, go ahead and trim that off because you're using these category 1 lean proteins to keep yourself safe. Okay, so what this row right here is saying is that you can eat something from this category. And remember, these categories are tiny. We've got well over 7,000 items in the food library, but this is enough to kind of get you started in the first week. So you pick something from this category, and if it makes sense to cook it up in one of these oils and then doctor it up with some of these condiments, you have an excellent fat burning meal. Okay, we're going to come down here to category 2. Category 2, fibrous carbs. In weight loss mode, it is best to stick around half a cup, but I've never measured it. I put it underneath my fibrous carb hand, and then that's what I eat. So broccoli, asparagus, squash, okra, green leafy vegetables, spinach, cabbage, cucumbers, bell peppers, hot peppers, cauliflower, kraut, dill pickles, green beans. Now, this is just the ones that are listed that are veggies. We've got over 60 approved bread or bread type items in the category 2 category. We're going to go over some of those in just a minute. Now, less bread is always best, but most people aren't willing to give up all of those, okay? So we're going to teach you which ones will break down in your body more like a green bean. That's the great thing. They're going to break down in your body more like a green bean. That's right, Jonathan. So what this row is saying is you pick something from category 1, you pick something from category 2, you cook it up in the right oil, you doctor it up with the right condiments, and you will have an excellent fat-burning meal. An excellent fat-burning meal. Okay, who can tell me which oil would make this meal be the fastest fat-burning combination? Except Jonathan, you can't answer. That's funny. That's right, Melody and Andrea and Debbie. Yes, MCT oil. That would make it be the fastest fat-burning combination. It really makes it exercise on a plate. Exercise on a plate. Yay, Katrina, awesome. Yay, Gemma. Nina, yay, awesome. And Alice, yay, good. Exercise on a plate. Do you know why this is exercise on a plate? Because your body really has to work hard to break down chicken breast, and it really has to work hard to break down broccoli. And then you've added this super fast burning MCT oil that has a heating up process that burns a few extra calories. So your body is actually expending equal to or more than exercising at the gym, just in digesting that particular meal. That's why Travis calls it exercise on a plate. I like exercise on a plate. Who agrees with me? Let's see, go to the gym with your plate and just sit there and eat while everyone else is working out. That's funny. You should do that, Jonathan. Okay, we're going to come down here. Category 7, shellfish, 2 to 8 ounces. Now, who can tell me what category 7 really is? It's really just a what? It's really just a... That's right. Really just a lean protein. Melody, Debbie, Sarah, awesome. It's just a lean protein. Yes, Andrea. Yes. But due to medical reasons and biblical reasons, it just got pulled off in its own category. Okay. So awesome, Nina. Wonderful. And Alice, yay. Yay. Everybody's learning this week. Awesome, Katrina. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. So you can eat this by itself if you need to. You can cook it up in the right oil. I do see a lot of ghee butter being used, with this. And then you can put the right condiments on it and have an excellent fat-burning meal. Yes, Tracy. Jonathan says he loves ghee butter. Isn't ghee butter what you put in your Jonathan's cauliflower rice? Sometimes. Okay. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to look at, and I'm not going to reread this because I've already read these categories, but you can pick something from the category 7 shellfish category and eat it with something from the category 2 category, fibrous carbs, and cook it up in the right oil and doctor it up with the right condiments, and you have an excellent fat burning meal. All right, we've come down to a new category right here, category 4, protein plus fat. But I want to teach a little nuance, okay? We're going to get into little nuances. I'm going to scroll back up. Do you see what this is? What's that right there? What's this little orange and yellow thing right there behind that black plus sign? It's a flame. It's fat burning off. It's a fat torch. It's fat. So that's a flame. Okay, that's a flame sign. So this just means these are excellent for fat burning. Now, if you come down here, you notice the flame is gone, but that does not mean that you're out of efficient fat burning. That just means these are great for fat burning, but those up there are more excellent for it. Okay, so this is just a little nuance. I don't concern myself with it. I just eat really whatever works within the combinations. I want it, I eat it. But I want everybody to know the ways that if they wanted to really super apply it, then you can take those little nuances and run with them. Category 4, protein plus fat. 2 to 6 ounces. That's right, Misty, the scenic route. You're still going to get there. Might take the scenic route. They're still going to get there. Category 4, protein plus fat, 2 to 6 ounces. Now, you'll notice that the ounces went down just a little bit. What did I say for the ounces on lean proteins? What was the ounces on lean proteins? Yep, Jonathan says he stuck to the flame stuff for the first 20 months. 20 months. First month and dropped 20 pounds. Yeah, Amy. Yes, 2 to 8 ounces on the lean protein. And if you're really, thank you, Beth Ann, if you're really wanting to kind of, ladies, it would be best if we did 2 to 6, and then men could go up to 8. But that's just a nuance too, because I've never measured mine. So category 4, protein plus fat, 2 to 6 ounces. I want you to know the reason behind that, because in 1 gram of protein, there's 4 calories. In 1 gram of fat, there's 9. So even though you lower your ounces just a little bit, you're still getting the same amount of calories. So that's where that comes from. Okay, so you can do 2 whole eggs. All cuts of steak are here. Pork ribs, beef ribs, pulled pork, beef brisket, 93% lean up to 95.9% lean ground meat, and turkey kielbasa, as long as no more than 50% of the calories come from fat. That's really the key in the protein plus fat area. If you are buying like a processed hot dog, hamburger, bologna, something like that, you would not want more than 50% of the calories to come from fat. If more than 50% of the calories are coming from fat, it's not approved for a perfect day. You could still eat it on a holiday, but it wouldn't be something that you want to use on a perfect day. Exactly. Jonathan says, I love a couple of eggs over light on toast. Me too. Can you believe we get to eat like this and lose weight? It's really so amazing that we do get to eat like this and lose weight that it just makes it unbelievable. Excuse me. And most pork products are here in category 4, except for that pork tenderloin, which is up in a lean protein. But remember, if you see any visible fat, actually, in on your lean proteins, if you see any visible fat, like on some chicken breast or something, just go ahead and cut that off too. So, Amy, avocados are a category 6 superfood. They are not the absolute best for weight loss, but there are some things that you can do with them. Amy, you can look up some recipes in the recipe library, and you just want to be kind of careful with avocados, but nobody's taking avocados from you. It's just that you might want for a season to use them a little bit less, but they are a category 6 superfood and can certainly be used. I just want you to know to look them up for sure and know how you're using them, and don't overdo them right now. So category 4, I want to look at this one, 93% lean up to 95.9% lean ground meat. That's that processed meat. If it is less than 93% lean, it is not approved for a perfect day. You could have it on a holiday, but it's not approved for a perfect day. Why is that? Because even if something that says, ooh, it's 85% lean, sounds pretty good, doesn't it? But it's really just a whole bunch of fat that they added a little bit of meat to it. It doesn't work for a perfect day. It's too fatty. So it's very important to make sure that you've got the right leanness on that processed meat. But any steak is approved. You don't have to even worry about it. Any steak is approved. It's just that processed meat, because they're putting fat in it. Okay, so category 2, fibrous carbs. Well, first of all, let's just remind you, you can have category 4 by itself, but optimally, you'd have that with a category 2 fibrous carb, and you can doctor it up with the right condiments. Now, what is missing? There was a column right here, right before the condiments on all the other combinations that we've been over tonight, and now it's missing. What's gone from right there? I know, Jonathan. Oil, that's right. The oils are gone. That's right, Sarah, Misty. The oils are gone. Why? Why is the oil gone? Jonathan, you're keeping me entertained tonight. That's right. That's right, Sarah. There is fat in the protein. That's right, Katrina. Yes, there's already fat in the meat, Misty. Yes. So you don't need to add additional fats. There's already fat there. That's why I would choose to use my 0-calorie cooking spray on this one. And a real easy example is if I were cooking egg whites, I would just use a little bit of MCT oil. But if I'm cooking whole eggs, I'm spraying it with my 0-calorie cooking spray. And I am not sick. When I have been outside all day, and even though we were having a golf tournament, they just kept mowing the lawn and they kept blowing dirt and grass all over the place all day today. So I'm finally now dealing with that. Yeah. Oh yeah, Jonathan, I like that. I like that. That'd be a great idea. Excuse me. Okay, now category 6, superfood. Now, who can tell me what qualifies a food to be a superfood? Spam. Okay, so spam, like the original spam, is not approved. No, I'm gonna tell you because I do know. Original spam is not approved. You could have it on a holiday. Turkey spam is approved. It is a category 4 protein plus fat, and you could eat it as such. You could fry it up, put it on some approved toast, put some mustard and ketchup on there or cheese or whatever you want to put on there with no more than 50 calories worth of condiments, and you can eat it up. Mm-hmm. Yep. Here's the funny thing about spam. So most people would go, "Oh, you got spam on your program?" See, what I love about Shibboleth is we do not discriminate against food. We just look at it. If it meets the nutritional like guidelines for protein plus fat or whatever, we put it in there. You may be a grass-fed, grass-finished kind of person and don't want to use anything but grass-fed, grass-finished beef. All right. And maybe you've got the budget for that, and that's awesome. But maybe you got a spam budget. Guess what? You need to know how to do this too, and we can teach you. And I love that we do not discriminate against food. All right, but y'all tell me, what qualifies a food to be a superfood? I also like that we meet people where they are on their journey. And, sometimes if you go to learn about an eating plan, they're like taking people from eating Pop-Tarts to, oh, all you can eat is all organic, non-genetically modified, do this, that, and the other. I mean, how hard is it from turn to Pop-Tarts to that? We got to figure out where we are along the journey. Okay, awesome, Nina. It's got all 4 macronutrients in there. That's funny. Good, Melody. Yeah, so category 6 superfood. A food qualifies to be a superfood when it has all 4 macronutrients in there. That's right. That's right, Angelia. I see you. So it's got water in there. We call water a macronutrient on planet Shibboleth. It is the most important macronutrient, and it's a 0-calorie macronutrient. The next most important macro is protein. The next is fat, and the next is carbs. But we don't count macros or anything like that. I just like for you to know why a food qualifies to be a superfood. Okay, so I'm going to explain that, Melody. Melody says, oh, it's got all 4 macronutrients in it. I don't even know what that means. Well, okay, so a macronutrient is those, I like to call them the bigger nutrients, like the protein, the fat, and the carbs, where your micronutrients are like your vitamins. So it's just the big nutrients. All right, category 6 superfood: pintos, black beans, red beans, soybeans. Yes, Mickey. Mickey says, are kidney beans or chickpeas hummus allowed? So kidney beans are a category 6 superfood, Mickey, and so are chickpeas. Hummus is approved depending on if you made a recipe from the recipe library or if it's an approved hummus like Sabra. You just want to make sure that it is an approved product in the food library. But yes, it's definitely approved. Just make sure you're buying the right one, because that's one of the beauty of the Shibboleth food library is that, you're welcome, is that you don't have to wonder which one's the right one. You just look them up and buy them and then use them appropriately. Heidi. Yeah, isn't that funny? Heidi said that she never put together the macronutrients versus micronutrients. Yeah, those macros are those building blocks of life, like the protein particularly are the building blocks, and those micronutrients are all those little vitamins and minerals that we need for. You don't want to leave any gaps actually in your nutrition. So taking a high quality vitamin, whole food vitamin, is good. Katrina, lima beans are a category 3 energy carb. Category 3 energy carb. So all those beans there, then this is where all of your nut butters are here in category 6 superfood, and all your nuts and your seeds. And as I mentioned earlier, avocados are also here, but make sure you use those carefully because they're just not the best for weight loss. So you can eat category 6, you're welcome, category 6 superfood by themselves. If you are going to eat them by themselves, a cup to 1.5 cups works fine. But if you are eating category 6 superfood combined with a lean protein and a fibrous carb, which is also an approved combination on the combination chart, you wouldn't be able to eat a cup to 1.5 cups of that because it wouldn't fit underneath your measuring tools. It wouldn't fit underneath there with all of your chicken breast or green beans and that. So you're going to have to back off on that when you're combining it with more. But if you're eating it by itself, you can do that much. And you can doctor it up with the right condiments. Okay, we're going to scroll down. We're going to look at another one. This one is category 6 superfood eaten with a category 2 fibrous carbs. Okay, so Jonathan is saying pintos and cauliflower rice are really good with a little pepper sauce on top. Yes. Quinoa, Tracy, is a category 3 energy carb. Category 3 energy carb, and must be eaten, just like the lima beans, must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. You don't eat it by itself. So Jonathan, I am drinking, I just finished off a grape Zevia with a little bit of apple cider vinegar in it. Yes, it is so, so good. It's a good little drink for nighttime. Apple cider vinegar. Now I buy the one that's Bragg's with the mother. It actually has that written on the bottle, with the mother. The mother is like this little prebiotic globule. And so apple cider vinegar, there's lots and lots and lots of health benefits for it. But one of the reasons I use it is it helps regulate blood sugar. And that's one of the things we like to do with Shibboleth is keep our blood sugar regulated. And so apple cider vinegar helps. And I've had a holiday today, so that will kind of help me out. And I like to drink it with all sorts of lighter colored sodas. Jonathan's saying he likes it with sugar-free ginger ale. Let's see, Mickey, tonight I am mixing it with grape Zevia. I'll type it in. Grape is just the flavor, but Zevia is the brand. It is a carbonated drink sweetened with stevia instead of an artificial sweetener. So I really like the grape flavor, but I have mixed it with 7-Up. I've mixed it with Sprite Zero, Cherry 7-Up, Zero Sugar, Sunkissed. I've mixed it with cran grape or cran pineapple, the 5-calorie. It's really, really good. I enjoy it. Yeah, you can mix it with any 0-calorie drink that you love and you play around with it. Shannon says, I just down it by itself. Yeah. I actually don't even like these drinks anymore unless they have ACV in it. I'm like, dang, because I drank something earlier today at another event and I went, oh goodness, I really like the cran pineapple, Cindy, when I can find that 5-calorie cran pineapple. Love it that way. I can't always find that cran pineapple though. All right. Yeah, Shannon must be a beast because I can't. I used to do that too, Shannon, but now I just really enjoy it like that. Okay, how much do you add to a drink? Well, as y'all can tell, I'm not really a measurer of things. So I do like that and then I'm done. But I would say that you start with a tablespoon. And if you like it just a little bit more, I would not do more than 2 tablespoons, but 1 to 2 tablespoons. Yeah. But that's how I do it. Yeah, start with a tablespoon. Okay. Oh, one thing I want to say right here. This is where Travis says you get your greens and beans. You got your greens, you got your beans. But really what I want to point out, it's an ocean spray drink, Angelia. The cran pineapple is an ocean spray drink. But they have the 5-calorie one. What I want to point out right here is that this is where you find a peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter right there. And right now, I don't have them listed here, but we do have over 60 approved bread or bread type items. Sherry, we're going to go over some cheese in just a second. In about 5 minutes. You get the right kind of bread, approved bread, category 2 bread only. And then you get your condiment would be jelly. This is peanut butter, jelly. Peanut butter, and jelly. I know I'm silly. I used to be a school teacher and a principal. Sometimes these things die hard. But Jonathan says he's lost 50 pounds eating peanut butter and jelly. So, and there's a girl named Nikki Kyle. She's lost 93 pounds and she eats a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every single day. She was eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches before Shibboleth. It just wasn't a fat burning peanut butter and jelly. It was a fat storing. More than likely, the jelly that she was using was elevating her blood sugar and it was collecting the fat in the peanut butter. And the bread was also elevating her blood sugar and it was collecting the fat in the peanut butter. But now we're really not going to have that blood sugar impact for it to collect the fat in the peanut butter. Amen. Hallelujah. All right. We've come to a new category 3. Category 3. Ding, ding, ding. We need to make sure that we've got our brain trained for energy, carbs, and fruit because you have got to eat those with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So let's look at this. A 1/4 cup is best in weight loss mode. 1/4 cup, about right there underneath that hand. Remember, we got our measuring tools here. So all of your potatoes are here. Oatmeal, steel cut oats, Quaker fiber and protein oatmeal, long grain brown rice, most lighter colored beans, except for the garbanzo bean, which also masquerades as the chickpea. That's over in category 6 superfoods. Okay, that's the only one that's totally random like that. But most lighter colored beans, because a navy bean is also a category 6. But as you can see, this is very important for you to look up the ones you like and know where they go, because if one is just a little bit off, you got to know where it goes. Millie, hey Millie, where do I go to print these templates out? So in categories, in lap 2 of Fast Track, Millie, you would click on this link, and at the top of this link, it says print. In the very end, I can show you, okay? Most lighter colored beans are here. Your peas are here, except the chickpea, tomato, onions, carrots, whole wheat pasta, and whole grain pasta. So I'm going to start talking about some of these things at the bottom here. We're going to look up pastas tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we are digging into the food library, so don't miss tomorrow night. It's very important. And there are a lot better options than whole grain and whole wheat pasta. So whole wheat and whole grain pasta will work. A quarter cup is what you get, okay? So we got better pasta options, and we'll go over those tomorrow night. But carrots are a category 3 energy carb because once they're cooked, they have more sugar in them. But if you were to eat just a little palmful of those raw baby carrots, you could call that a freebie. They call that a freebie, okay? And in a moment of mental weakness, you could call that a freebie. But if those carrots are cooked, you got to call them an energy carb. Okay, tomato and onion. People are often super surprised that the tomato and onion are right here. Well, they elevate your blood sugar, and so we have got to call them what they are. So this is the way I like for you to think about it. If you are having a quarter cup or more of tomato or a quarter cup or more of onion, just call it an energy carb so that you eat it with the lean protein and a fibrous carb. But a lot of times people will use tomato or onion as a condiment. And if you use just, I'm talking like a thin little slice, and you can use it as a condiment. Okay, so let's see. Jonathan says, I love oatmeal, but I don't eat it because I can't figure out what category 1 or 2 to pair it with. The fat Jonathan would have eaten it with lots of milk and butter. Okay, so Jonathan, this Quaker fiber and protein oatmeal is actually a category 2 and 3. So all you'd really need to do is just have some fat-free Fairlife or Kroger Carb Master with it, and you've got that covered. And you could even put a little bit of stevia in it or something if you wanted to. Yeah, good. I'm glad I could help out, Jonathan. Okay, so category 3 energy carb must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. This right here is combining at its best, okay? Because this is serious combining right here. Let's say that you like lima beans and you eat about a quarter of a cup of lima beans. They'll be fitting about right here. So first of all, remember, at a quarter of a cup of lima beans, you didn't overeat lima beans, and that's good. That's good. The lima beans, when you eat them, are going to elevate your blood sugar. They are going to elevate your blood sugar. It's just what happens. Your pancreas is then going to secrete insulin. It secretes insulin to deal with the blood sugar elevation. But we eat in a way that controls insulin. So you need to eat it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So you got lima beans here. Maybe you get a 96% lean ground beef hamburger patty and some green beans. So you've elevated your blood sugar, your pancreas has secreted insulin. You've chosen a lean hamburger patty. So the protein in that lean hamburger patty and the fiber in the green beans are going to neutralize the insulin release that came out because of the energy carb. You're also going to notice there was no fat in this meal because there's no fat really in energy carb. It's just the catalyst to fat storage if you ate it with fat. But we're not going to eat it with fat because that doesn't work. But what we are going to do is we're going to eat it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb to help neutralize that insulin release. So if later on in the day we have a little bit of fat, then we won't have all the insulin running around in there. Okay, Beth Ann, when I printed this, there is a flame behind the plus with this combination, but there isn't a flame on the screen. Okay, it's definitely without the flame on there, Beth. So I'm sorry that's appearing like that. But it definitely would just be a plus sign on these. You're welcome. Good question. You're welcome. Okay, so we're not going to have our oils here. We're not going to have them right here because that insulin that comes out is the fat bus. And if you've got fat in your system with the fat bus, it's going to go pick up the fat, and take it to the destination. And we don't want it to go to the destination. So we're not going to have any fat right there. Okay, let's scroll down and we're going to look at category 5 fruit. Ding, 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 ding. We must combine fruit properly in weight loss mode. When you are in weight loss mode, fruit must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. Once you get to maintenance, if you want to eat fruit as a snack by itself, you can do that in maintenance. But in maintenance, eating a meal on a perfect day, if you're having fruit with a meal, you should still combine it properly. But if you also wanted a piece of fruit as a snack, you could do that. In maintenance, though, not in weight loss. See, weight loss mode and maintenance mode are two totally different nutritional situations. In weight loss mode, you've got some excess stored energy that you're wanting to access, and we got to have the right environment so your body can access it. But when you're in maintenance, you don't have all that extra stored energy to access, and a little bit of extra insulin is not going to hurt you in maintenance, though. Okay, so in weight loss, it's important. I'm not going to read all of this fruit, but berries, apples, oranges, and grapefruit are the lowest glycemic fruits. So they're really kind of the best if you want to have a fruit. But all you got to do is eat that with something over here. Maybe you make yourself an egg white spinach omelet and have some berries. Or maybe you have some Greek plain yogurt with some hemp flakes, which we haven't really talked about. But on Friday night, I'm going to show you a video. I'm going to show you where to find a video on hemp products so that you can look that up. And then you could have some berries. Okay, so you're just kind of mixing that up in the right way. Now we're going to go over just some other random things that are in categories that are really important to know about. First of all, I want you to know that we like to eat, and we like to eat tasty things. So we're going to figure out a good way to do that. So you have category 2 breads. Less bread is always best. And you do not want more than 100 calories of bread per meal. And if I'm ever going to do bread, I like to do bread morning or lunch, but I don't typically do bread at night. Now you can, it's just that's another little nuance thing that I do. Let's see. Beth Ann, I'm assuming, yeah, it shouldn't be on that other one either. So thank you for telling me that. I'm going to need to have a look on that. Mickey, we can look it up. We can look it up and see if it's approved, because it might be approved. I know that the Nature's Own Keto Life is approved. We'll look that one up though. I think it is approved. We'll look it up. I live on the Olay Extreme Wellness High Fiber tortillas, Jonathan. And are there gluten-free breads that qualify as a category 2? We'll look them up. Yep, we'll look them up, y'all. Gluten-free is totally fine. We'll just see what our options are. So we've got Olay Extreme Wellness High Fiber Tortilla, the La Tortilla Factory 50-calorie tortilla, Healthy Life Bread, which is Lewis Healthy Life Bread, Brand Crisp Bread, which is not really a bread. It's more like a cracker. Yeah, that's my favorite, Deb. Healthy Life Hot Dog Buns, Thomas Light, the 100-calorie English muffins, they work. Yes, Angelia, that one is for sure. That's funny. Okay, approved sweeteners. Any 0-calorie sweetener works fine, no matter what your preference is. Any 0-calorie sweetener works fine. And yes, Jonathan, anything that you see that you don't like, you don't have to eat it. Okay, there's plenty of options on Planet Shibboleth. Approved beverages. Well, first of all, you want to make sure you always get your water in. And clean, clear water makes up your 64 to 128 ounces, not water with packets of stuff in it. Clean, clear water. You can do 0-calorie beverages of any type, unsweet or approved tea, coffee with 15 calories of approved sweetener, and then cheese. So this is kind of talking about cheese as a condiment. You wouldn't want to have more than 50 calories as a condiment. But think about this. Let's say that you want a hamburger patty, 96% lean ground beef hamburger patty, and you want some cheese on it. Well, I would pick the Borden fat-free cheese. It's about 30 calories. Well, how many calories can I use in condiments? How many calories can I use in a meal on condiments? 50 or less. That's right, Debbie, 50 or less. Okay, so if I've used 30 with my slice of cheese, I've got 20 to play with. What if I want some mustard? Well, most mustards are 0 calories, so you can put that on there, and that doesn't even take up any of your calories. And then maybe you wanted ketchup, and you could do 20 calories of ketchup. That's right, Alice. Awesome. Yes, Kristen, you can put lemon. You can put lemon in your water or your tea. Lactose free. There's okay, so the high protein milks are lactose free. Cheese, we'll have to look and see about the cheese, but both of the high protein milks are. So anytime you're looking at a fat free ketchup as your downfall, well, just make sure that the ketchup that you buy meets the 5 and 2 rule, and then you would have to make sure, Mickey, that you don't use more than 50 calories. But you know what? 50 calories of ketchup is actually quite a bit. And if you just wanted to use it as your only condiment, you could use it. That would be at least like 2.5 tablespoons. So any fat-free cheese is approved. It's also a category 1. All fat-free cheese is a category 1 too. And then Cabot extra light cheese is a category 4, but all of these can be used as a condiment up to 50 calories. Okay, so lean protein milks, these are very, very important. The reason they're important is, do you know that whole milk is fat storage in a jug? Fat storage in a jug. I don't need that. So this right here, these are both fat-free and they've been fortified with protein. Now, a lot of times people use milk with cereal, and even cereal, the best cereal, is a little starchy. And you absolutely need to control that, because if you've got even the best cereal being starchy, you don't want any fat in there to collect it, and you need some protein to offset it. So that's why those milks are so important. Okay, almond milk or oat milk is what I use now as approved. Okay, yeah, almond milk is approved. I would suggest buying the unsweetened almond milk. It is a category 4 protein plus fat. And if you are going to use almond milk, it must be eaten. If you're using it with cereal, it's got to be eaten with a phase 1 cereal only, because that's the best of the best cereal options. So almond milk can only be used with phase 1 cereal. I'd have to look up oat milk. Probably is. I just can't remember, Gemma, but we can look it up in a second. You eat it with oatmeal. Oh, no, that is not approved, because almond milk is a category 4 protein plus fat, and we do not eat protein plus fat with a category 3, because category 3 elevates your blood sugar and will collect fat if eaten with fat. And since almond milk is a protein plus fat, it wouldn't work. So this lean protein, it's a category 1 lean protein. And if you're going to have it as a component of a meal, you could do up to 8 ounces. And if you just need to drink a big old glass of milk as you're going out the door for work, you could do up to 16 ounces if you wanted to. I really like this milk because one of these milks, because it can help you make quite a few what we call perfect pairings. What a perfect pairing is it's something that doesn't quite follow the rules, but has been determined that if you do it just the way that it's explained in the food library, that it will work. Okay, we got 2 more things to look at real quick, because I'm not going over restaurants tonight. We're going to go over those on Friday night. All right, breadings and flours. Does anybody like biscuits, waffles, pancakes? Yes, 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 all of those things. Well, and cornbread, anybody like that? Yes, waffles. Okay, so you can use coconut flour, but Carb Quick is really where I wanted to go. Oh yeah, Carb Quick's going to be your best friend, Melody. So first of all, notice that Carb Quick is not spelled with CK at the end of quick. It's just a K. This is your swap for flour. This is your swap for Bisquick. This is your baking flour. This is your swap, Carb Quick. Okay, you can also use Bob's TVP. I've even had some, we've got a vegan or vegetarian recipe. I don't know which one it is, but that makes a meatloaf with this. This is a textured vegetable protein made out of soy product. And then you can use almond flour. So coconut flour, Carb Quick flour, and almond flour are all category 2 fibrous carbs. Imagine biscuits, waffles, pancakes, and muffins and such that are category 2. They look like they would not be fat burning, but they are because you're using the right product. It's wonderful. Yay, Beth Ann just used Carb Quick to make chicken and dumplings this evening. Okay, Melly's got Carb Quick coming tomorrow. See, Jonathan, can you figure out how to make cracklins approved for my cornbread? Love Carb Quick crust for my chicken pot pie. Oh, yes, yes. Love the Carb Quick. You know what I even made? Chocolate chip cookies with Carb Quick. So that was really the only thing I changed. It was a holiday. We were having an event, but I used Carb Quick. Everybody wanted to know how I made my cookies. They loved my cookies. I mean, I'd used it with regular butter and stuff, but the only thing I changed was the Carb Quick. I felt like it did a little bit better for us, right? Yes, now chocolate chip cookies, Melody. There are approved chocolate chip cookies, probably best for maintenance, okay? But don't follow the recipe I made. It wasn't approved. Okay, cereals. Kashi, Go Lean, K's Natural, and High-Low Nutritious Living. So these are all some of the best cereals, but what we call the best cereals is phase 1. Because phase 1, you're picking the best of the best. But we have stuff that we call phase 2. Phase 2, you could use Reese Puffs and Captain Crunch. You got to know you didn't go higher quality when Fruit Loops are listed, okay? But if you have a phase 2 cereal, absolutely only use the lean protein milks. Otherwise, it would not work. You can, Shannon. Yes, you can have almond milk, and still I would prefer the unsweetened, but you can have it with a Kashi Go Lean. Yes, you could. Okay, so I want to make sure I've answered all the questions. So what type of cheese? Sherry asked what type of cheese. So here's some good options for cheese, Sherry, but this Lifetime fat-free cheese is actually purchased from a website online. So if you can't find it in your grocery stores, just go to this Lifetime fat-free cheese. Travis says it's the best. Thank you, Jonathan. I am glad to have used my master's in education for some purpose. The Lord eventually gave me what I needed to be using my education degree for. But real quick, I want to go over here to the food library because I want to click on something. I want to show you something. See, tomorrow we're going to be digging into this food library. This is one of your best friends here, one of your best resources. So I'm clicking in the search bar and I'm typing in cheese. And it's going to pull up cheese, Sherry. Me too. I spend so much time just looking at this. We're letting it think. So here you go. There's lots and lots of things with the word cheese in it. Now, you might have to kind of go through that because it's probably not listing out just regular cheese, but you can kind of take that and scan through there. Okay, so there's one way. Let me make sure I've answered the other questions. I feel like I missed some. Oh, oat milk. Let's look up oat milk. Okay, Planet oat milk, unsweetened original. It's a 0 on the weight loss meter. We'll talk about the weight loss meter tomorrow night. Okay, so it's a condiment or a perfect pairing item. A 1/4 cup can be used as a perfect pairing with phase 1 cereals only. Okay, so that would be really important to know, Gemma. Almond milk or oat milk can only be eaten with phase 1 cereals. So just would not want to eat that with a phase 2 cereal. Now, how do you know which one's which? Right down here, Do you see where it says phase 1 cereal? If that's the milk that you want to use, you have to click phase 1 cereal and then pick from that list. There's your options for say phase 1 cereal. It is a short list, but cereal isn't the absolute best for weight loss. So I like this one, the AHS cereal. AHS stands for Advanced Health Systems. Okay, I feel like I missed some questions. If I did not get your question answered, please tell me. Oh, gluten-free. Gluten-free bread, right? Because I think I missed the gluten-free bread. Okay, yep. How to print in the gluten-free. Okay, so Nina, the only 2 phases I even want to explain are phase 1. Phase 1 is the foundation of the lifestyle with the best of the best foods in it. Okay, meaning, we're really focusing on whole foods and the best cereals and stuff like that. Phase 2 really just means, let me pull this up here. Phase 2 really just means that we opened up more variety to you. You've got more cereal options, more frozen meal options, and phase 2 soups. But here's the thing, technically, you could use either one of these things. I mean, you could use all of this stuff from the very beginning. But why do we delineate? Because if you want to have the best results, it might be best to stick with phase 1 in the beginning. Yeah, there's no time that you just move into a phase 2. Phase 1 and phase 2, those are the lifestyle. You're always going to be in either phase 1 or phase 2. Doesn't really matter. Phase 2 just means that you've got more options open to you. And it's kind of the inner aisles of the grocery store. But like I said, it can really be used from the very beginning. Yes, but Jonathan says you get real skinty on phase 1. Oh yeah, the Sola keto bread. Thank y'all for reminding me. Okay, I'm going to look up the Sola. And Millie, I hear you. It's just going to be the easiest to show that last. So Sola. Sola. Here's the Sola deliciously seeded bread. You're welcome. Yeah, no need for it to be confusing, but I totally get it. But just always live the foundation with the Shibboleth shield. That's what you want to use. It just opens up more variety. This one is the category 2. You just don't want to use more than 1 slice. Did you see some things, Mickey? Some other things that you were familiar with? Because I don't just see the flat out keto bread, but there's this sweet oat bread. Okay, good, awesome. It's a category 2 as well. 1 slice. See, they're being very specific. Most of the time you could use 2, but it's telling you 1 on that. See, this is what the beauty of the food library is. It tells you the best of the best and exactly how to use the stuff. Because if it's different than what you would generally do with bread, then you'd want to know that. Okay, so if you are gluten-free, this is the way I would look up gluten-free products. Because if you're specifically wanting to know a bread, we all watch this. This is so cool. This is so cool. I'm going to click breads. Okay, watch this, y'all. Oh, say Heidi, for gluten-free bread, Udi's millet and chia bread or carbonneau are good. Okay, so Gemma, gluten-free, Udi's millet, chia, and carbonneau are good. Okay, so what I've done is I've clicked on breads. So this is all the breads. But do y'all see these little blue filters? We're going to talk about these tomorrow night, and we're going to talk about this awesome weight loss meter tomorrow night. Gluten-free. I'm going to click the gluten-free filter. So now it's going to take all the breads. It's going to only list the gluten-free. Okay, so now there's our list of gluten-free. Made the list smaller, but you probably knew that the list would go smaller. And let's see if we can find any that are category 2 breads, which if you're gluten-free, Heidi, are those both category 2 or are they category 3? But I'm going to scroll this down and I'm going to make this weight loss meter be -2, -3, because I know that would give me the best breads. Okay, so this is not a bread. This is a dry cracker. Julian Paleo Thin Coconut Bread. Okay, that's a category 2. That's a category 2, Gemma. Okay, and those are category 2 as well, Heidi, the Udis. Okay, good, thank you. So there's a category 2. And then here, what is this? New Gym Foods sandwich wraps, mango chipotle. Okay, this is a category 2. This is a category 2 and a gluten-free. You're welcome. Okay, and then it only gave me 3 at that -2, -3. But if I take this little ball, I'm going to expand my list. Now let me see some more options. Okay, I got a few more options there. I've got another Julian Paleo Thin. I've got 2 outer aisle. There's some cauliflower pizza crust and sandwich thins. Oh, and there's the carbonate. And I hope I'm saying that right. Yep, it's a category 2, just like Heidi said. Yeah, so there's some in there that will work for gluten-free. You're welcome, Melody and Debbie. You're welcome. Okay, and then I am going to answer Miss Millie's question. Okay, so Millie, what you do when you're in the website, I'm going to start off by clicking on dashboard. I'm just going to show you from the very beginning. You click on dashboard, and since I know that you are an experienced member, your dashboard probably shows up to instructors, which is fine, but you're going to click right here where it says fast track, and you'll get to fast track. And right here in lap 2, the very the second from the last item, simple food combining website link, that's what we went over tonight. And right there where it says print list, it'll print. Yep, and I see those flames right there. Gonna have to point that out. I love that. You're welcome, Millie. Jonathan just made a really good point. Great thing about fast track is we're not eating. We're busy learning and not focusing on snacking. Mickey, it is going to be so awesome. It's going to be so awesome. Y'all, this is the absolute best lifestyle ever. And the way I want you to think about it is this. You are on a nutritional adventure. It's going to be the best adventure ever. The nutritional adventure. I don't know how old you are right now, but I want you to know that you've got that number of years to change habits. Okay, so I know I found Shibboleth when I was 49. I had 49 years of habits to change, and this is going to be worth it if you will apply it. And we have a massive amount of unlearning to do. We just got to forget everything that we thought we knew about nutrition. Forget everything we thought we knew. We cannot bring any baggage with us, bring nothing. Just come straight to the Shibboleth lifestyle and do it. Because I had a lot of previous knowledge too, but Travis said, forget everything that you thought you knew. And that actually freed me up. So I want to make sure that y'all know that. Forget all that you thought you knew and just do this and it'll work. Oh yeah, that's right. Get ready to have your world rocked. You're going to look and feel so much better. Yeah. Jonathan says that. Don't try to figure it out. Just follow the rules. Yes, Katrina. You're going to do great, Katrina. Okay, well, we're going to hop off. Now, 2 things. Tomorrow morning, I will be on the Shibby Show in the morning around 7:30-ish. You're welcome, Jonathan. Thank you for making it so fun and being here to support Phil and Melody and everybody else. And tomorrow night, I will be back here at 7:30, and we're going to go over the new member worksheet that I created for you to put your favorites on and build meals. And we're going to talk about the timing chart, which is one of my absolute favorite tools to use. And we're going to lay out the way that the food library works for you. You're welcome, Mickey. You're welcome. I'll see y'all in the morning for the Shibby Show and back here tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern Time for Fast Track. Night, everybody. Oh, before you go, this is my prayer for you. Keep them safe day and night. Give them courage, strength, and might. Y'all can do this. You're welcome, Tracy. You're welcome, Teresa. Bye, everybody.